So in a previous video, we took a look at this BLDC driver and how good it was for the money. And we tried to run the 56 volt blower motor with it. But I had a lot of comments from people wondering if we could use this and it would hold up to actually be a replacement for the controller and the 56 volt ego blower. So in this video, it took a little bit of doing, but we are going to put this in the 56 volt ego blower. And we're going to put it in operation and see how it holds up. So I have loosened the 4 screws. The thermal pad there on the heat sink. So there's the 6 transistors. We can also see that that's where our potentiometer is soldered in. And I just made a few notes on the potentiometer, the way it's located on the board in case I had questions later, and how counterclockwise is slower and clockwise is higher RPM or output. I will take this potentiometer loose. We'll be right back. And this is a 103, so this is a 10K potentiometer. We just have to put our 3 leads here that goes to our pot on our blower. So back now with a test setup with the original pot that came out of the ego blower, the turbo switch that come out of the ego blower, which used to go to the old control board. If you don't know much about these Wago connectors, I've used them for years. I've always used terminal strips in the industry, so I absolutely love these things, especially on the bench, hooking things up. So if you see me use these different types, this is why. I typically use these for some of the smaller wires, and even on these real tiny ones, I know this isn't proper to leave this way, but I'll just I'll tie 2 small wires together and put them under one terminal, which is what I've done here just to make a junction, because little small wire nuts just don't work that great. And I don't want to solder a crimp right now because I'm just testing. So anyway, thought I'd mention that. So we have our same setup here as in a previous video about testing the blower, except for I only have 24 volts from my power supply, which is not on at the moment, but I have it going to the board just as a test, so I don't have the battery and all up here in the way as well. Because right now I just want to do a direction test on the motor phase wise, and I want to make sure I have the potentiometer right. So I'm going to give it 24 volts, and the potentiometer must be right because I have it turned all the way down. Okay, so that's 0 to 24 volts, basically 3-phase output. And the other thing, I tied this switch in to basically jump from the wiper to the high side of the pot. So basically hitting the turbo button, I think we do have to have a little bit of, then the turbo will actually jump across. So as long as we don't have the potentiometer all the way down, I don't think that's going to be a problem. But the little knob that goes on here, I don't believe it'll turn, but maybe 60 degrees or so. We'll test that out later. But as long as this is turned up off of 0, because 0 does put the pot or reference to 0 volts, and it won't even let this kick in. But as long as we got something on the reference, that's pretty neat. So I think that's going to be the way to do it. Have our pot, we can have a speed control back on the blower here, and then actually incorporate the turbo to just go to high speed, so we don't have to have a 2-hand operation to slow down or speed up. So phase rotation wise, UVW is going to brown, blue, yellow. And the only reason that matters, once I do solder the wires or connect them on and get them in place, I don't have to rotate them, or I don't have to put a jumper across here to do my rotation or direction either. So therefore it'll just be the right direction. We never have to touch it again. This is the schematic I have drawn out. The 3 wires that I just picked the colors that I had, right, to come off the speed controller. And their designation of where I soldered them to here. Where our original pot was on the board. The actual board mounted pot. Yellow, red, brown, and what they go to on the original potentiometer board. yellow, red, brown is the blue, the green, and the white respectively. And then our turbo switch just had the black wires on it. So one was already soldered on the board for the high side, and we just took the black back around to the yellow as shown here. So therefore, as long as we have our pot turned off of 0, the turbo switch will give us our full output instead of going across the potentiometer to do so. And I am going to take the 50 volt capacitor off. I was either going to get a 100 volt or a 63 volt capacitor and go on here. However, I changed my mind because if you remember when we tore down this blower in that video, this one already has a 680 microfarad 63 volt capacitor. Already has a location for it. And I think I'm just going to take it and put it a little bit differently than the old one. I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to let this 63 volt capacitor be across our input when the battery comes in. So therefore that capacitor already be across the Ego battery. And it's also going to help on the bus here, input to the controller. So this really, at least the way I see it here so far, because it just goes straight across our input, it really shouldn't be needed any longer. If I have to, I might have to go to 1000 microfarad. I'll test it out. So that's got that capacitor off. Just going to bend down these transistors so they can touch the heatsink. And really the next obstacle here is just going to simply be powering the board, because we don't want to have to control it with a potentiometer every time like this one is. And if we remember, this actual on-off switch, even though I've cut the wires off and used them here for the potentiometer, these small wires used to go to the old controller. It actually just operated the transistor. Since this is a 6 amp rated switch, I think it's beefy enough to actually use it when we hit the button. So we'll give our 56 volts to our board and then allow our board to run. So I think that's what I'm going to do on that. Might just take the spring off for now. That is our interlock so we don't accidentally hit the button. I'm just going to store that spring in there for now. It'll just stay down. And we shouldn't actually need to push that. Better fill in that hole. I have my heat shrink on here. I'll put a little bit of rosin flux on here. Help with any impurities. And I need to clean that tip. There we go. Oh, that's beautiful. And that's done just that quick. So I'll do the rest of these and we'll be right back. Got them soldered. Now I'm just going to heat shrink them down with this real handy little hot air gun here. So I'm really liking that. I have the heat sink inside the airflow. The wires has a way here, and the way that worked out is actually pretty good. So that we are put back together. Just going to put the cover back on it, and we'll test it out. So back now with a modification. I actually do have a 63 volt 1000 microfarad capacitor on the board. I did change the way I had the original cap in here. And I was only putting the capacitor on the actual bus when that switch was clicked. What I wasn't thinking about is when I do release it and that stored energy don't have anywhere to go. So I did have a failure on the board, and just so happens the chip and the transistors that had a failure, those devices actually were rated for higher than 60 volts. So I don't believe the voltage actually caused the failure on the board. I think it was my misapplication when I decided to remove the capacitor and just have it on the power side. So I had it disconnecting. When I would release the power switch, it would disconnect it from the bus, and I think that was the wrong thing to do there. So now I have the potentiometer back wired in. I just have a Wago terminal there terminating the plus through a 20 amp fuse here, which slid nicely into that little slot. Everything actually lined up really well. So that's got everything ready to go back together and test. But before I put it back together, I'm actually just going to bring my power supply over with a 30 volt supply going to it. Preliminary checks are fine. We'll put it back together and test it out. So back now after using a full battery and recharged it back up in this blower with the replaced speed controls. We can see it in there, and so far all the tests have been good. Everything still works well. We see the board still looks good. So one thing I want to try to do is add a varistor. This is a metal oxide varistor MOV, and this is a P82Z12. So this is a nominal 82 volt. That's RMS rated. So DC, I believe this one's rated at 68 volts. So I just wanted to test it out and see where it clamps at. So I have 30 volts coming into this boost regulator that I have, a boost converter, and I have the MOV across the output going back through my milliamp meter. And here I just simply have a voltmeter reading the output, and I can actually turn with this potentiometer adjust. I can turn this potentiometer on up. It took it around 80 volts DC. Alright, so these are usually rated at about 1 milliamp. So what voltage it starts conducting about 1 milliamp. So it's getting about 85 to 90 volts. So that is a little bit higher than I'd hoped, but just maybe across a resistor, maybe it's just a backup plan. If the spike goes up high and quick, maybe this will quench it across the resistor. I'm going to put some across the power resistor. Be right back. Alright, so now I've just taken one of these same MOVs and just put it across to 15 ohm, looks like 10 watt resistors. So I probably got more beefy resistor than I do MOV here, but anyway, I'm going to put this across my input to the my brushless motor controller, and that way when I kill the motor, cut it off for any reason, the voltage goes up above say 80 volts, it'll start conducting. The faster it builds up, right, the faster it's a quench. So I'll see. I even thought about going ahead and putting two in parallel just to give it more power, but we'll see. I bought 3 of them just to see in case the test didn't go so well. So this was actually 68 rated, so I was expecting it to quench a little bit sooner and start conducting, but it's just kind of a backup plan. So I'll tie this into the controller board and see how it works. So this is a little BLDC driver that can take up to 72 volts. That also might be a good replacement for the controller for the Ego 56 blower. I ordered this, and it didn't come with any terminals, just the board. We do see that we got 100 volt rated caps. We're using JY11M transistors, which is rated for 100 volt 110 amp in-channel MOSFETs. We do see a 78 LO5, which they limited with a Zener diode and resistor. It looks like I checked it at 12 volts. 12 volts input and 5 volts regulating. So it looks like they've done their homework there, because they're using a little JY21L IGBT and MOSFET logic level driver. So we got 3 of those on there to control 2 MOSFETs with each chip. Simple, but seems to be pretty robust and pretty small, and it's under 20 bucks as well. So a pretty good contender if the 50 volt BLDC does not work for you. I'm still testing it out at this time, and it's working fine. I just thought I'd include this in this video because I bought this one as a backup plan and just really hadn't talked about it, but I did want to get it out on the bench and hook up the connector that I bought. So that connector actually worked out really good. Just connected the your power wires and your 3 phases coming out. So for temporary, I just had them set up with these Wago terminals here. We got the power here. This is a fully charged battery at around 57, 58 volts. We can see there. I have soldered in a potentiometer. Now this one did show it had enable pins, and it'd probably be better to solder them high, but just without even pulling high, it actually runs fine. It does have a little bit of slip. Has a little bit of slip right on the takeoff. You can hear that or see that, but after that, it does have a little bit of acceleration and deceleration time. But it ain't not a big deal. I believe it will work out okay. Preliminary testing, and that's on a this is a 60 volt 5,000 RPM brushless 3-phase motor. So I just thought I would stick this in the video too, since I am doing some preliminary testing on this board. If you're interested, I'll try to have a description. This is a pretty rare find to have up to 72 volts input and the 100 volt input caps, and actually no feedback. It is open loop or sensorless control, so it may work out really good for something similar as the Ego blower. So just thought I would include this. Hopefully it helps somebody that might be looking for something similar. So if you like this video today about putting this brushless speed controller on the Ego 56 volt blower, please like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.